This performer has traveled all across Canada in a vain attempt to avoid his in-laws. He just got back from a 3-month tour of safe houses in Iraq. He wasn't doing shows, he was actually hoping to be kidnapped. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Muise.
Thank you, folks. I'll start by telling you I'm a newly married man. My in-laws are half French and half Newfie. Now, there are some livers waiting to fail. I can't keep up with them. We went partying last weekend. I was asleep as soon as my head hit the tile. You know why they call it in-laws? I got this figured out. It's because if it wasn't written in law somewhere, you would have nothing to do with these people. And it's weird to have a new family when you get married, because that's what essentially you have, a new family. And it's weird because, like, I've spent my entire life trying not to strangle the crap out of my own family. And then you fall in love, get married, and a whole bunch of new necks show up. My in-laws on the French side, they're very French, very Quebecois, very separatist, hey? And that's okay, you know? I can kind of understand why the French would want to separate, hey? It's kind of in their blood. You know, like they invented pasteurization and the guillotine. They've been separating stuff for centuries. On the Newfie side, we actually went to Newfoundland to get married, and I got screeched in Newfoundland. I don't know if you know what that is or not. You know? Yeah, for those of you who don't know, what it is you recite a poem, right? And then you take a shot of screech, and then you kiss a dead codfish. But not anymore. They've changed it, as the bartender told me. He said, well, the arse fell out of that whole cod market, and we're not going to waste a good fish on you. So what they do now, they have a puffin, a little seabird, right? And it's dead, and they've stuffed it, and now you recite the poem, take a shot of screech, and kiss the puffin's arse. And they said Newfies wouldn't go along with change, hey? The wedding was strange. It was weird. I was like kissing a dead bird's arse, eating fish face. It was like a bad episode of Fear Factor. But along with the bad that comes with a marriage, you get the good. And on the good side, I have a wonderful, wonderful 8-year-old stepdaughter. And we love each other dearly, we do. And it's kind of funny, she's an only child, right? And I'm the last of 12 kids, right? So she can't even comprehend this, right? Like, she still has all the stuff that she had when she was a kid, right? And she says to me the other day, she goes, Brad, do you still have anything from when you were a little kid? I was like, well, besides the weight problem, no, not really. Well, can you imagine the hand-me-down toys I got with 11 brothers and sisters? My G.I. Joe doll had Barbie legs and a Kermit the Frog head. And I've learned this about 8-year-old girls. I didn't know this. They're messy little buggers. Hey, they are. They're messy little buggers. All day long, I'm picking stuff off the floor. That's what I'm doing all day long, eh? Our living room looks like downtown Kandahar. Like, you can't get ahead of it. It's just devastated every day. Here's me 100 times a day, picking stuff up off the floor, eh? Picking stuff up off the floor, picking. That's not a good move for a fat man, by the way. Like, I just did it 3 times, and I'm seeing sparkles. I love her with all my heart, but it's gotten to the point where I heard her choking on something the other day, and my first thought was, thank God, that's one less piece of plastic I got to pick up off the floor tonight. And her mom and I met online on a web dating site. Hey? I know what you're thinking. That's for losers. Hey? Well, I'm here to tell you that it is. Oh, folks, what a gene puddle out on the internet, honest to God. It is. You got to go through a lot of bad ones before you find a good one, I'll tell you that. Oh, man. And you know what? You can judge me for internet dating if you want. I don't care. You know why? It takes a lot of guts to internet date. Right? Like, because think about it. There's one thing about going out to all the bars here in Winnipeg and striking out, but there's another thing that day you find out you're undateable globally. After about a month, you're like, is this thing even on, man? I said occasional drinker? What the hell? There's 3 things I've learned in 6 months of marriage about women, and I'll share them with you tonight. Number 1 is that you hate your hair. I don't know why, but you do. Number 2 is you have nothing to wear. Right? And number 3, you just can't stand the thought of seeing us doing nothing. Am I right? Oh, yeah. Like, it's on a level that I'll never understand. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, I used to enjoy a nap when I was a single man, hey? Yeah. Used to. Used to is the key in that sentence. You know what nap means at my house now? It means, hey, let's take all those pots and pans from that cupboard and fire them into that cupboard over there. My wife loves for me to cuddle her just as we fall asleep, right? And that sounds beautiful and romantic. But you know what it is? Even when I'm asleep, she can't stand the thought of me doing nothing. She can't. Thank you, Winnipeg. Good night. Bye-bye.